What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Oh man. So I wanted to do this quick video. I forgot to do it in my live about this thing snagging my hair. Forgot to do my live on this information about Ciggey, y'all. These failed businesses and things that he's got going on. It's funny as hell. Oh, my hair today. So let me just get to it. We went over in a live stream earlier I went over the SLAPP suit that he filed. I call it a SLAPP suit. I think most people that read it can say that's a SLAPP suit. He wants $10 million for getting in a fight and getting fired because of it. And then that's it. He got fired. He got fired. But he wants $10 million for it. And I guess for some reason, he thinks that's somehow justified. I don't know. But I have some information I forgot to just share, just in getting caught up in going over that SLAPP suit that I find to be absolutely hilarious. But it's information that, you guys, need to see and know and understand. And it helps to understand the intentions of what he's doing, right? So they're filing these slaps, this SLAPP suit. Oh Lord, super stupid and Ciggey trying to file these SLAPP suits because at the end of the day, they know the FBI is coming for them. They don't have a leg to stand on. They both have lost their jobs. They know they're going to be broke at some point. The rate they spend money, they don't spend money to have it last forever because she just thought she was going to win again and just keep having access to tax dollars. And that's not the case. And they're in for a rude awakening if they think that the FBI is not going to freeze some assets. They good for that. And that's just from the FBI. Imagine if they had, an IRS investigation. Now they owe back taxes or something like that. Yeah, that'd be epic. But this is what's the real deal right here. What's going on? And so I hope you guys can see this. What's going on? It won't let me scroll. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is from the Chicago Tribune. And as you all can see here, it kind of goes over the at-risk program, August 2024, records obtained by Chicago Tribune and Daily Southtown that the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity received a federal subpoena for all records related to Thornton Township and Project B youth violence prevention. A spokesperson for the state DCEO said at the time that Thornton Township had received $7.1 million in grant money since 2020, and Plan B youth violence prevention was among the programs funded by a $500,000 grant for violence interruption, community development, and operational expenses and administrative costs. $500,000 just for these things that they should not have had a problem meeting the obligation of that grant, right? But here's the thing. When you don't have an idea or a brain, how do you come up with a plan for violence interruption and community development and operational expenses and costs to be covered? Especially when you refuse to send over a budget report or invoices or receipts. And when there's no accountability, then guess what? People come in, they take advantage of it, and they think they're going to get away with it. That suing for $10 million is unfathomable, and he's not going to get the money. It's beyond the realm of possibility. He's not going to get that money. But the act of filing the lawsuit is because he knows he's got it coming. Because the FBI is looking into what's going on with this grant. And he was the alleged director of this grant. He was paid a 6-figure salary, but he only had 2 pieces of paper in his HR file. This is, and I hope that this is encouraging to the trustees that's coming in now with Thornton Township. Now you understand the art of having to. You don't have to be with an iron fist, but you definitely need to have. You got to have a spine, a backbone. You got to be able to say, "No, we're not overlooking this nonsense simply because you claim to be the married boyfriend of somebody's mate, like or a supervisor. We're not doing that." This should have been mandated for them to have to provide those budget reports. Al Kindle talking about they had compliance, teams and site inspectors. Well, that should have been inspected. There should have been some reviewing of documents. Even if they never went to the location, all they had to do was put in the address and Google what was on that grant application. They would have seen that it went back to a car wash. But DCEO would have seen it. So they dropped the ball. And now the FBI is having to come in and clean up. And Siggy knows that he doesn't really there's no way out of this other than just a huge dose of cooperation. That means he's gonna have to give up super or getting or him deciding that he's just gonna file a slap suit. It's not gonna spare you from the FBI. But this is what they're looking at now. And taking this federal grant money. Okay. And then doing what you want to do with it without checks and balances. Weren't even smart enough to get an actual building where you could probably look up and see, oh, okay, this is a place where we can predict some youth would gather and he could, somehow help do something. It went to a car wash that he was co-owner of, that he did not disclose to them that he was co-owner of, that he has a judgment issued against him from a federal court of law to pay the contractors who built that car wash. It's so much bad blood behind that car wash, it's not even funny. And that's the address you put on the grant application. Ciggey is not a smart person. Because now look how this is all going to come back on him. And he got it coming, and he got everything coming that he deserves. You chose to do these stupid things and make these dumb decisions. Prepare for the backlash. Prepare for the consequences of your actions. So the address given for the program on Sibley Boulevard in Dalton comes up in Cook County records as a car wash business. Because it is. DCEO was not apprised of the reason for the subpoena, although it's not hard to see why. He's already listed on other subpoenas related to the FBI investigation of Super Stupid. So, two crooks trying to sit here and live harmoniously in a car wash. That's funny to me. The statement said, adding that the agency provided the requested documents to federal authorities. So obviously some information exists. Now, if they didn't have invoices or receipts, I'm not quite sure how DCEO was able to track the funding. But that's where, doing a subpoena for credit card statements and debit cards and checks and bank statements and, making sure wherever that money was sent to, whatever account it was deposited in, that's the account they're going to hone in on. You're not going to be able to bully everybody, Ciggey. Credit card companies, the banks, where that $500,000 went to, they're going to give over the information to the FBI. And the FBI, one way or the other, will be able to see how you spent money. But this is the man that wants to sit here and file a slap suit. The walking cigarette. Is smoking, leaving a trail of ash everywhere he goes. This is the person that's trying to file a slap suit for $10 million. Oh boy, Ciggey in his lawsuit said he and his significant other opinion, but has become collateral damage as a result of controversy surrounding her role as mayor and supervisor. Perhaps she just was never a smart person or a good candidate to begin with. For some reason, you don't want to accept that. I don't know why. But no, she had this coming. She's done her dirt too. And there needs to be a level of accountability. Period. He alleges He has unwittingly been the victim of politically motivated verbal attacks and unsubstantiated accusations against his significant other, which have caused him to be caught in a whirlwind of political controversy and thus a political target. This has nothing to do with politics. This is about you breaking the law. The FBI has nothing to do with your politics or your conspiracies or your nonsense. You can't go to court and say none of that BS to a judge, especially when the FBI drops an indictment. You'll be standing in front of a federal judge in a federal court of law. You can't go in there and treat that like it's your YouTube channel. You can't go in there running all that nonsense like you came at Tommy G. Oh, you ain't seen that? You don't know what it is? Or you don't know about that? You can't talk to no judge like that. Not a federal judge. They'll hold your ass in contempt before they sit there and let you think you're going to smooth talk them. So, I mean, you could just turn your damn self in, but it's too much like right. So, one other proposal involved an investigation into grant money and township funds for an at-risk youth program. According to, okay, I just read this part. I wanted to make sure I got it out of the way. Oh, this is the part I wanted to highlight. DCEO was not apprised of the reason of the subpoena. Gonzalez said Wednesday he has not received requested information about the youth program, but he believes it was created to provide college scholarships and career training to young people. Did you ever see any information on college scholarships or career training in that car wash? Come on, Gonzalez. Did you ever see anything? Did you even Google the address yourself and try to go to the location? Where's a copy of the college scholarships and that career training being offered to young people? Where's that information? From Ciggey, because he was the director of this at-risk youth program, remember? Where is that information from him? When did he ever create that information? Don't you think you would have seen a pamphlet or a flyer or something in Facebook or some social media website with this? Hey, here's a link. Go apply for this college scholarship. Hey, here's a link on career training. We're having a job fair today. Not people washing his cars at his car wash. I mean, a real job fair. Where did you see that information at? When did he ever present that to you? Are you kidding? You don't have to give them the benefit of the doubt. Just don't say anything if you don't understand or you don't really know. Just say, I don't know what the hell they did. Nothing wrong with that, right? He said the person who directs the program, Ciggey, is paid a six-figure salary. There were a lot of expenditures we will see on the bill list, but we wouldn't have invoices or things like that to back up what the expenditures were, Gonzalez said. There were a couple of things that people had later brought to our attention saying, hey, I know the township is saying they paid for this, but I don't believe that to be the case. I think someone else paid for it. Yeah, it came from the grant funding. So they were trying to double dip. They were trying to get the township to pay for the same expense that the grant money probably covered. So they double dipping. And because they weren't giving up invoices or receipts or anything related to the grant program, here you have Thornton Township thinking, oh, this is an expense that we're responsible for. The question is, how many things were paid for by Thornton Township that was also paid for with grant funding? You can't make this up. And this is the same scammer con artist of a walking cigarette that wants to file a SLAPP suit for $10 million. It's the same person. That's what we're dealing with. That's what we are. This right here. This is it's basically like a business license document. And if you all see here, Rock Island Transportation Inc. So, what, another failed business? Initial registered agent, Victor Osaki. Rock Island now. And you all see the information there. Name and address of incorporator. The undersigned incorporator hereby declares under penalties of perjury that the statements made in the foregoing articles of incorporation are true. April 11, 2023. Whose name and address you see here? Ciggey. Ciggey. This is the car wash address. Here's the car wash address. So your Rock Island Transportation Inc. company, with the initial registered agent Victor Osaki. I'm not even going to keep trying to say his name because it might not be right. It's also at the car wash. This is the stuff. It's not even a thought being put into this. Let me just throw everything under the car wash address. You're not even trying. It's absurd. He's not even trying. This is the man. This is the walking cigarette, the void of humanity that wants to file a $10 million SLAPP suit. Oh, what do we have here? Another business. Let's see here. Laces Redemption Shoes, LLC. Oh, and this was involuntarily dissolved September 29th, 2020. You guys can see the principal address, the file number. Y'all see all of that there, right? Annual report year 2019. Probably there's nothing on it. Organization date, admission date, 12/3/2018. Involuntarily dissolved September 29th, 2020. You didn't even make 2 full years. But look who's the agent information at the bottom. Ciggey. Then you have a Lansing, Illinois address here. You got 317 East Glenwood, Lansing, Illinois, 60425. Laces Redemption Shoes, LLC. This is something else. That was your principal address on here. Going right to Ciggey. Y'all see that? 317 East Glenwood, 317 East Glenwood, Lansing Road. The full address up here under the principal address, Lansing, Illinois, 60425. And it's dissolved. You have a habit of failure with businesses. Not too bright, are you? This is ridiculous. Oh, and let's not forget about the car wash itself. Now it's permanently closed. We had Rock Island Transportation, Rock Island Splash, something with Laces Redemption Shoes, LLC. I was about to say something with shoelaces. That was dissolved. Another closed business. Car wash. That was listed on grant applications for federal funding for $500,000. Perhaps this was closed because you put down the address to the car wash on a grant application for grant money, part of federal funding. Why look, stand on business. Why close it? You can't make this up. You can't make this shit up. Yeah, I was scared to drive to work today because I have not received my registration renewal in the mail. Even though I have a receipt that I renewed my registration for my vehicle, the law states that the decal sticker has to be displayed on your plate. I couldn't take the chance to just drive knowing that I'm breaking the law. So I'm having to take the day off because I was supposed to go to office today. Don't ask me why they just wouldn't let me work from home and just come in another day. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. But this is the thing. You intentionally put down this car wash address on that grant application, on the grant documents. You weren't smart enough to pick another address that didn't lead back to a car wash that you co-owned that is now permanently closed because you're not very smart. So this is failed business number 3. Yeah, he also has a restaurant, splash bar or something. They all sound the same. What is it with this rock stuff? Rock Island, rock transportation, rock this, rock that. Oh, something about laces. It's unbelievable. Plus, his just innate ability to let taxes go into default and then try to purchase pens, undercutting the property taxes that's actually owed. Hence why the FBI is looking at the property that St. Patrick's sits on. They're not investigating St. Patrick's, people. They're investigating the land that the restaurant is built upon. There's 4 pens related to that FBI subpoena. It just so happened to be the property land that the restaurant sits on. It literally could have, you imagine if it wasn't a restaurant and it was a hotel, it wouldn't matter. Doesn't matter what's sitting on the property. The sale of that property, the inspection records related to those 4 pens and the FBI subpoena is what they're investigating. They're also investigating who owned this property or these pens. And why are they switching hands, going to these alleged shell companies? Because I've just shown you all, what, 3 that Ciggey had that are now closed or dissolved. Makes no sense. So, just like Alex snitch off, and I say this repeatedly because I want you all to understand, if you get the gist of why he's in prison for 5 years now, you'll understand even more what's going on with these short sales, these hot sales of these property taxes and all this other stuff. Moving money around in shell accounts. It's like running a whole scheme. These tax shell accounts and this property scam where they avoiding property taxes. But yet, in my live stream today, someone made a comment saying that he was worth about $7 million. Allegedly. He ain't worth that. I'm gonna say that right now. No, the hell he ain't. But if he is, that still does not justify why you're trying to double dip. I mean, really, you got $7 million. Why don't you pay for this stuff out your pocket? Why not pay your judgment? You were ordered by the court to pay $176,000 plus $250,000 in damages to AAA contractors that built the car wash. You still have a judgment out there where these people have not been paid for building the car wash that's now closed. Oh man, is there ever a time to be mad about something? This is it. This is the walking cigarette though that filed a $10 million SLAPP suit. Okay. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed that. That's something I just had to get out and just kind of, show you guys. This is something else. This guy wants $10 million because he's trying to go through this litigation process thinking that it's going to just prolong anything that the FBI has going on, and it's not. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to read those articles so you all can see how much trouble he's really in, along with him being named in the other FBI subpoenas as well. And the fact that, he was doing criminalistic stuff before he got with Super Stupid, but so was she. So it's not a matter of, Ciggey convinced and influenced Super Stupid. She was a good person beforehand. No, she was always the butthole she is now. She just got into a position with power, money going to her head because, just like any other brainless, empty miscreant roaming the earth, she had nothing to offer. She allowed her pride and ego to get in the way because that's all she has. She never had a platform or a policy or an idea. Spending tax dollars like she's lost her mind. Getting with a married man. Then mistreating LaVale. Yummy. It's like, really? You went to a married criminal who was doing dumb shit before he got with you. So it's like the powers that be just brought these two knuckleheads together. They're two peas in a pod. I don't think one is more worse than the other. They're both the same. They're both bad. And they both have it coming from the FBI. That's all I got. If you guys enjoyed this This information is, just from regular research and Google. So you guys can always Google and look up the information if you want. I hope you guys listen. Shout out to Cafe of Knowledge. I know she's reported on this as well in great detail, as well as Go Political. A few others have touched on this. So shout out to you all. Cooking with Frank as well too. So you guys make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. We're trying to get to 50,000 subs by the end of April. You guys see the tag at the bottom. Make sure you take time to like and share this video with everyone. And until the next one, Lady